Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Monday night edition of the Chat Daddy Show. I am your host, Chat Daddy. It is the last Monday of August 2020. You guys know this has been quite a year. Not only have we had a lot of tragedies during 2020, but we are also still in the midst of a global pandemic. Well, I hope you and your family are doing well this evening. Tonight's show is dedicated to actor Chadwick Boseman. Over the weekend, we found out that this incredible young man, truly a trendsetter, someone who just had Hollywood just spinning with his talent, just his amazing gift. He passed away from colon cancer this weekend. So tonight, our show is dedicated to talk about the life and times of Chadwick Boseman and all the wonderful things that he contributed to this world, such a legacy. Tonight, also joining the show is Dr. Janet Seabrook, noted family medicine practitioner, and she'll be here tonight to talk to us about what we need to know about colon cancer. Believe it or not, colon cancer at one point was considered older people's ailment, something that maybe your grandfather or great-grandfather had experienced, even some women. But now people as young as in their 20s are now experiencing symptoms from colon cancer. So we'll talk about that. And then later on in the show, we'll debate the issue of whether or not should you tell people you are sick. Chadwick Boseman kept his diagnosis he was diagnosed stage 3. Then it turned into stage 4 colon cancer, and he continued to keep working. He did not say anything to anyone. He pretty much kept it to himself. So our conversation tonight is, do you tell people about your severe medical conditions? How do you feel about that? All right. Well, tonight on the show, we have not one or two co-hosts who are here with us. As you guys all know, last week, these two, I think it was last week or the week before, these two were fan favorites. The show was informative. We just kept going on and on. Kay Renee was here with us on Thursday. She did an outstanding job. She's back here with us Monday night because originally she was invited 2 weeks ago to be the co-host. And here she is now back with us tonight, and we just love and adore her. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Kay Renee of Canada Nuggets. Hello, darling.
Hello, Chat Daddy. How are you, sweetie? Mwah.
I'm good, darling. How you doing tonight? Good to see you. You look well. You look refreshed. How's your Monday been so far?
It's been quiet. I've been doing my research, about tonight's show and dedicating to our fallen king, Chadwick Boseman. But it's been a good day. Every day above ground is a phenomenal day.
Yes, it is. Well, Karen, I'm so glad to have you back tonight. As I said to you earlier, and every time I talk to you, I said you are definitely winning this co-host position quicker than anybody I know. I said, I think you now can wear the crown of you've co-hosted more than anybody. And look, and you about to beat Javon DeLyn's record, and she originally started off as the co-host of this show with me.
I know. Give her my love when you talk with her.
I will. She actually had a birthday celebration Saturday night, a small little intimate gathering in her yard to celebrate her birthday. So happy birthday, Javon DeLynn Dunnigan. It was beautiful.
Happy birthday, Virgo Queen. See, Virgos rule, honey, because you know what's happening in another 30 days. Less than 30 days for me.
I know. It's your season. I know you are the reason, and right. And so I guess we'll have to have you back on so we can have a birthday party for you, all of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're not going anywhere. You're not. All right. Well, our second guest co-host tonight is a gentleman who's been here with us before. He served as co-host. Always a dynamic, great conversation. Not only is he an actor, he's a theater aficionado. He actually even had a personal connection with the late actor Chadwick Boseman, and we just love this man to no end. Is he still there? Let me see. Bishop, are you there? Bishop Damone Seraphin, let me see. Let me, he blacked out for a second, so hopefully he'll be back in just a little bit.
Okay.
Karen, just unbelievable the
Yes.
story that happened over the weekend. I mean, just, oh, wait, let's see. Ladies and gentlemen, back for another appearance, our good friend, Bishop Damone Seraphin.
Hey,
Bishop, are you
Bishop.
there? Wait a minute. Uh-oh, wait.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Do we not
Hey,
see him?
We hear you. There you
There you
I'm
are.
not
There
sure
you
what's
are.
happening.
go.
There you are.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. And then you disappeared. Uh-oh. All right. Well, Karen, while we are waiting on Bishop to get logged in, let's start with the normal stuff that we do every night here on the show. And in that way, we can wait a minute. Oh, okay. As of today, Monday, Illinois public health officials announced 1,668 new confirmed cases of COVID-19, and that was within the last 24 hours. We've unfortunately had 7 additional deaths here in the state of Illinois. Illinois has now reported 235,023 cases of COVID, and now our death total is over 8,000. We are currently at 8,026 people who have perished in the state of Illinois due to COVID-19. And so this is no joke. K. Renee is still an issue. I'm out and about. I did my first appearance on Saturday.
How'd
But
that
baby,
go?
you gotta believe it went really well.
Okay.
Green Grove Missionary Baptist Church is where we were in the heart of Inglewood. Of course, Reverend Renee Lee and her Rose Connection is the one who's had this event, gave these wonderful backpacks away. She wanted me to come and host and, greet people. And I did. But, honey, I had my thermometer checker. I had masks to hand out to people that did not have a mask.
I saw that.
I had hand sanitizer. Look, I was like Nurse Ratchet. I had Nurse Right. I had everything you need. Look, the bees were out. They were trying to get me and all the people there. I even had insect repellent. I did. Yeah,
you should have. You should have had some bee. You should have had some bee masks for them. They come near you like, here you go. Here's your mask.
I was passing out masks. And look, I wanted these people to come get these school supplies for these children. Our children need them. That's a neighborhood where they are in need over there. And it was just a beautiful thing. And I enjoyed myself to no end. All right, let's bring Bishop Damone Seraphin back in, our favorite, one of our favorites around here. There he is.
Hey, Bishop.
Hey, everybody.
Hey,
it's so good to be back on.
How are you this evening?
I'm in New Hampshire, so, things are a little bit different, just a little bit different. Setup's a little bit different, but, we here.
So tell us why you're in New Hampshire, Bishop. You're working on a new theater piece.
Yeah, I'm outside of ministry. I'm also an actor and director, and I'm directing a production of Katori Hall's The Mountaintop here at the Winnie Playhouse in New Hampshire. And it chronicles, it's a fictitious account of Dr. King's last 24 hours on Earth.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a great 2-person play. And we had a really great first day today, so I'm excited. I'm a little tired because we had a long travel day. Yesterday, they didn't want us to fly or take the train, so we drove in from New York. So that's a 6-hour drive.
Wow.
Yeah, we drove in, and then we started this morning. So I'm a little tired, but I'm energized by my sister K. Renee and my brother Chat Daddy. We about to get it in.
And we got you, Bishop. So don't worry, we got you.
Don't worry. I thank you so much.
Bishop, the one thing, once I read your post on social media and saw that you actually had a connection to Chadwick, I had to have you on tonight. I understand that things have gotten back busy for you. We love and appreciate you so much. But I really, wanted somebody on the show tonight that could speak on just knowing a man of such greatness. Unfortunately, I never got the chance to meet him, but I'm sure you could just see the stature of the quality of man he was just in his presence.
We first met years ago. He wrote a play that was produced in Chicago by the Congo Square Theater. Those are friends of mine, directed by a friend of mine, Derek Sanders. And it was a beautiful play called Deep Azure. And man, the play was beautiful because the human being who wrote it, who wrestled with it and gestated with it and then kind of birthed it, was so brilliant. Not just brilliant, but you would never meet a more humble human being. His heart was committed to the work. His heart was committed to being effective and effective in the work that we were doing. Generosity beyond bounds. I mean, man. So this loss is profound. And there, of course, there are others who knew him better than I. Friends of mine who are really wrestling in grief at the loss of such an incredible human being. That he struggled with this disease starting at stage 3. That's when they caught it, stage 3, and then it getting worse into stage 4. And in the middle of all of that struggle, he gave us an incredible and an immediate body of work.
Yes.
In the midst of doing all of that work, it's like they said of Jesus on the cross. He never said a mumbling word.
Yes.
And that's a part of what we talk about. Right. Later on in the show tonight about, should you tell people? Should you not tell people? I even have had some moments of regrets, and we'll talk about all of that this evening. But just for him to have continued to keep working and honing his craft, and yes. And I'm telling you, chemotherapy is a beast. It really is. Well, Kay Renee, before we move on a little bit to talk about everything else, why don't you give us a little background on Chadwick? We knew he was 43 years old. What other facts and things did you find out about our late brother?
It's just fascinating on how he was just, he lived his purpose. He talked about that at Howard's commencement speech in 2018, talking about press with purpose. He embodied what living your life with purpose, passion, and praise represents. But you know me, I do a little digging. So I did some research. So I'm going to read this from my phone of some interesting facts about Chadwick. First of all, he comes from a large family. On his grandmother's side, she had, and let me pull it up real quick. Just bear with me 1 second.
No problem.
She left a total of, when she made her transition, check this out. She had 115 grandchildren and great-grandchildren. You talk about, that's a big family. You hear what I'm saying?
Honey, that's Wakanda forever right there.
That's what I'm talking about. Okay?
That's Wakanda forever.
He was from South Carolina, a small town near Greenville. So family was so important to him. So to know that he has so many family members who not only just the global family, like he mentioned in Black Panther, we need to just take care of each other as in one tribe. Bloodline, he has a large family. So we just really need to reach out to them and say, hey, we got you too. This is a loss for all of us. Okay.
Yes, it is.
That's just one bit. I got a few more. One, besides the filmmaking, and he was a writer, as Bishop talked about, he wanted to be an architect. He loved to draw. So he had studied architecture, if you didn't know that.
Okay.
And he was fluent in martial arts. So you can see when he did those moves in Black Panther, even in Get On Up, he did his own splits. He was very versed in martial arts. Okay.
Yes.
But the funny thing, and here's another thing, even though a lot of people say, well, aren't you tired of playing all these iconic roles? No, he wanted to play Jimi Hendrix. How about that?
Really? Oh, that would have been cool. Yes.
I could see him doing that. There was never a script out there, but that was something he put out to the universe. He wanted to play Jimi Hendrix. So
I love it.
And as you know, that we started his iconic journey with Jackie Robinson. One thing a lot of people don't know, that widow Rachel did not want him to play Jackie Robinson. In fact, she wanted Denzel to play Jackie Robinson. There were 25 actors who were up for the role. And when he got it, she wasn't too happy. But after the film, all grudges aside, she welcomed him like everyone else has welcomed him in her arms. So,
well, you know what I find so strange is that Denzel is the one who financed him when he was in college. When he was a broke college student, Denzel had the faith and wherewithal to believe in this young man. And I think that's just the best thing ever.
But you know who he came from? Miss Felicia Rashad. That's who talked to Denzel and said, "Listen, we need to take care of him," because that was his mentor. So she talked about that last night when Robin Roberts in 2020 honored him, honored his life. But the interesting part is we know we're in election season.
Shout out to 2020 and Robin Roberts.
Yes, they did a phenomenal job last night.
That was one of the most beautiful tributes ever. Yes, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kay Renee.
No, and speaking about Black Panther, a lot of people don't know this. He never auditioned for the role. They wanted him from day one. So that lets you know he was divinely chosen for that role. Yeah. Can you imagine? Now think about that. He never auditioned. He didn't ask for it. They called him and said, "We want you to do this." How cool is that? How cool is that? And that's just cool. And then I got to talk about politics because the one thing. Now wait a minute, y'all gonna laugh on this. He was asked, what did he think about him, our current number 45, or I like to call him idiot in chief. His quote. He responded, and I quote, "I'd love to answer that, but I don't want to give him any Panther time." Gracious.
Yeah.
Simply gracious.
Classic. Very classic. Very good. Very, very good. Bishop, anything in response to that with Chadwick? What were your favorite characters that he did? He did them all with so much grace, but here's the deal. We're not in the theater world. You're a fellow thespian. So which role would you say had to have been your favorite of all his roles? Did we lose you? Uh-oh.
I don't know if he can hear. We see him.
We see him. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I don't know what.
Uh-oh. Somebody might have a bad Wi-Fi connection.
Can you hear me?
Now we can. Yeah, much better.
Oh, good. No, I believe you asked if I had anything to add to what Kay Renee just said. And here, Kay Renee, I said all of that you said, yes. And I guess I just want to send my love out to those at the Mecca, Howard University, HU. I did not go there. I was not there for the fine arts. I did my preaching seminars in Old Testament studies under Dr. Kane Hope Felder. But that community there, you get no tighter than an HU family. And so my prayers and my heart goes out to those. I have friends who are just devastated by this loss, who witnessed his trajectory from walking up that hill at HU to ascending the heights that he ascended in his career. And so when the light is extinguished like his so soon, the effect is immense and profound. And so we grieve, but then we celebrate. Someone just said HU in the.
Yeah, I saw that.
You say HU, yeah. And so the one way he loved the Lord. And so the one thing that we can do, we grieve not like the world grieved, but we celebrate the 40-something years that he was able to walk the earth and make such a grand contribution. So today I say to my friends, lift up your heads, O ye gates, and be ye lifted up, ye everlasting doors. And the King of Glory will come in with a balm that will heal our hearts and move us through this loss.
Yes, absolutely. We also
Absolutely.
want to acknowledge two other losses over the weekend.
Yes.
Former Portland Trailblazer star Clifford Robinson, he
Oh,
died at the age of 53 over the weekend. He
Hmm.
died from lymphoma,
Oh,
which is also
wow.
a
cancer is
cancer
no
of the
joke.
blood.
Right.
Tomorrow, September 1st, throughout the month of September, kicks off Blood Cancer Awareness Month. As you guys
Hmm.
all know, I am someone who has leukemia or has battled leukemia, still has a condition that it can come back at any particular time. And so during the month of September, we're going to talk about blood cancers in African Americans and people in general. But yes, so he passed away, and we also lost John Thompson Jr., the first Black coach to win an NCAA championship. Uh,
Georgetown.
he died at
Good.
at age 78 years old. So we lost
Mm.
three iconic Black men this
Yes,
weekend,
we
and
did.
really sad in so many ways. It really, really is. So yes, our thoughts and prayers go out to all of those people's families. All right, let's talk about a few other things before we run out of time. Yesterday, here on the south side of Chicago, a famed family eatery was shot up. Because of COVID-19, we're not eating indoors. We're eating outside under tents in parking
Hmm.
lots. And so Loom's Restaurant at 116th and Western is a
Hmm.
restaurant that, it really is like your grandmother's house. So I'm not understanding, what happened, why people would come shoot it up, any of that. And so
Hmm.
yesterday, one person was killed, four others were injured. And I know several people who were leaving church yesterday. A lot of people are having outdoor church services now, and they were headed over to Looms, and then this situation happened, and just unbelievable. I was so sick when I heard that yesterday. I don't know what to do, because what's sacred anymore? That's where you
Right.
take your grandmother to go eat on a Sunday, your
That's right.
mama, your family. I walk in there, I'm like a celebrity. I'm going from table to table, kissing people, hugging, all of that. It's just crazy. What do you all think?
I know Looms. I've been there. I have one of my dearest friends who lives not that far from Looms. I mean, I couldn't believe when I heard. I said, "They must got it mistaken." And to hear, what had transpired, that one person in a fatality and three other people got hurt. I just, it's just like, where can you go just to sit down and have a meal? You
I
can't
mean,
go anywhere and not have a meal and have to worry about being shot. It's just crazy to me. And it's just, again, it's just really, really sad on what times we are now living in. And so my thoughts and
yeah,
prayers go out to the family of that loved one that's been lost, the people who were around there that had to even be subjected to hearing gunshots. You don't hear gunshots in Morgan Park. But, it's just really, I just was just flabbergasted.
you
I have nothing else
you
to say on
really
that.
don't hear gunshots at a diner, at a grandma family
Right.
diner. And no,
Exactly.
you just no, you might hear somebody drop a baby bottle on the floor, or somebody passing
Exactly.
out, but you're not gonna hear gunshots while you enjoying an omelet and grits. And no, it just does not happen. Bishop, what do you want to say about this?
What can you say about this ignorance, this lack of value for life, for humanity? We talked about it before, and we got varied responses to this conversation. But it's hard for you to tell folks to value you when you then turn around and display such monstrous behavior. And I
Yeah.
was challenged again when I said expose the monsters, because we know somebody knows who the shooter was,
Of
Yeah,
and he
course.
was easy in somebody's care, because we refuse to expose the monsters who are devastating our communities. And they are not white policemen. These are people who look like us, who live
yep,
in our communities, who have no qualms about going in and shooting up innocent people for their own nefarious behavior. I have no patience for it. I'm disgusted by it. Take the key and lock them up. Find
That's
them and
right.
get
yeah.
them off of our streets.
That's right.
Well, come to find out, the victim who they were trying to get is the person who did get killed. The other 4 people just, I guess, happened to be sitting there. And I don't know. It's sad because now, of course, I'm going to go and support Looms and show them, that we do love and appreciate them and we thank them for the great food and all of that kind of stuff. But now it makes me nervous just to, want to go anyways. Yeah, you just never know. And then, right? Look, when I go in the next time, I'm going to be like, look, sit me over there near them church mamas, sit me over there near Deacon Earl and them, and I'm going to get up there. Look, I'm going to ask everybody in the damn restaurant, you want it? Anybody looking for you? Your grandson ain't coming to eat with you this morning, is he? Look, I'm sorry. I'm going to go around the whole damn restaurant asking before I sit down next to you. Because
there is no safety among deacon and mother and missionary and bishop. There's no safety. There's no safety. People do not care. Their own violent agendas are the only things that matter. And so innocence be damned,
Yep. Sit me between the tables of oxygen tanks and wheelers. And that's where y'all can sit me. All right. Let's continue to move. All right. So as summer is coming to a close, it is being reported by health officials that your Thanksgiving celebration may be via Zoom this year. Even though people are trying to go back to school, holiday travel and more indoor activities are going to probably end up causing a bigger spread of the COVID virus. And with that being said, they're saying that more and more people will probably end up doing Thanksgiving holiday via Zoom. Because keep in mind, this past Saturday morning, 1,200 students and 166 employees and staff at the University of Alabama tested positive for COVID-19. So are you all ready to have a Thanksgiving via Zoom? Are you ready to, be able to say, hey, happy Thanksgiving Day with your turkey leg in your own damn house? Are you ready?
See, the only thing, all right, for me, as long as they order my sweet potato pies, I can ship wherever. It doesn't matter. So
right.
If you want to have Thanksgiving Zoom, that's fine with me. Just make sure you have a slice of my sweet potato pie and say, hey, happy Turkey Day.
Right. Yes. Bishop, I know you big on the holiday and I know you have a family and all of that, but look like you will not be coming this way and we will not be coming that way. What is your take on Zoom Thanksgiving? You ready for it?
Listen, just call me. Call me. Don't even Zoom me. I'm so zoomed out these days. Just call me. We can talk on the phone and we can celebrate that and then it'll be quick, I don't really celebrate what this Thanksgiving holiday is centered on anyway. But I honor the gift of God. I honor the gift of family. I can say hello, I love you, and good night.
Very good. Very good. Well, we want to give
some of us don't need to be at nobody's table, truth be told. Some of us need to be spending some time in front of that virtual gym.
That new mirror they got, that Peloton, you need to get all of that.
Listen, this COVID is a gift. Get your butt in shape. And me too.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm working on it.
Amen. All right, very good. Well, we want to give a shout out to ABC Television. Not only did 2020 and Robin Roberts do a great job last night on the tribute to our king, Chadwick Boseman, but also ABC Television ran Black Panther last night, commercial free. Commercial free. I was told that they picked up the over $3 million tab to run Black Panther last night. They did it with no commercials whatsoever. And I thought that was just so befitting to have the movie and then to have that tribute afterwards. So again, thank you to ABC7 for a job well done, or the ABC Network. Yes, amen. All right. Last night was the 2020 VMA Awards. This was the first award ceremony of this type. other than the recent BET Awards that we had. Our girl Keke Palmer was the host of the awards last night. Big winners from the awards was Lady Gaga, Ariana Grande, BTS. They each won 4 awards. And I like how everybody did their entertainment thing differently. I love the fact that Lady Gaga had on a different type of mask every performance. And she did a 9-minute performance with that mask on. I'm wondering if that was really her singing last night. Because, baby, I done cussed. I can barely get this grocery store without pulling that mask down. Right. I'm so tired of these masks now. I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm these masks. I'm like, Lord have mercy. You in the grocery store, it's hot, and look, when you look up, right, I done chewed on the mask. I'm like, Lord, yes. So I don't know how Gaga did that 9-minute song yesterday with that mask on. I don't.
She thought about this. All right, I'm gonna keep saying this: either mask it or casket. Your choice.
That's it.
So now, that's all I'm gonna say. And also, she getting paid good money. She can deal with 9 minutes. She probably thought about George Floyd with 8 minutes and 46 seconds. So
right
now, if she can do that, he did that for 8 minutes 46 seconds. She did it for 9 minutes. So.
Okay, all right. Well, look, maybe I need to get better at my craft. Right. Yesterday, I was in the grocery store and I said, Lord, I'm having a hot flash under this mask. I said, somebody help. My lip is having a hot flash under here. Ooh, Lord. All right. Well, with that being said, you guys, welcome to the Monday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. I am your host, Chat Daddy. So glad that you guys can be here with us on this Monday evening. Our entire show tonight is dedicated to King Chadwick Boseman. He passed away over the weekend at the age of 43. An iconic actor, all around great guy, humanitarian. He died from colon cancer. And so in just a few moments, we're going to welcome our friend, noted medical family practitioner, Dr. Janet Seabrook. And she's going to talk to us tonight about what we need to know about colon cancer. What I'm hearing is more and more young people are now being diagnosed with colon cancer. I need to find out, what we need to be eating, all of that. Look, I've been taking so many vitamins, and I drink a glass of carrot juice every day now in the mornings. That's the first thing I drink when I get up in the morning is a glass of carrot juice. So either I'm going to have really good eyes or I'm going to look like a rabbit in about 6 months. But, however, I just do it for health benefits. Bishop, anything you do to kind of keep your health on track? And Kay Renee, I kind of want to find out that real quick, too, before we bring the doctor on.
I'm back on this workout tip. And cardio keeps the heart pumping, keeps the heart flowing and strong. And so I try to get my cardio in the morning. And I'm following a strict regimen. I'm working with this trainer who has me eating very specifically. And so trying to stay consistent with that. We can't mess around with this temple. You only get one.
That's right.
Only get one.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah, right. So we'd be wise to do something to maintain it and keep it in shape. So that's the thing I'm doing: cardio, and then following the strict eating regimen to make sure that I can keep healthy and strong and vibrant and able to maintain.
All right, very good. Kay Renee, real quick, what have you been doing to keep yourself healthy and doing the right things?
As you remember earlier this year, I was doing a program which, I was able to lose a lot, had lost 26 pounds, still continuing that, drinking my water. Yes, it has Crystal Light, but it's water. I try to drink at least between 50 and 60 ounces per day. I cook my own foods. And, when I go shopping, getting that leafy vegetables, spinach, eating more fiber, having oatmeal. And yes, do I cheat a little bit? I acknowledge that, yes. But, overall, I'm really trying to be healthy because my late uncle, I mentioned this to you, Art, when we spoke. I thought he had colon cancer. We I found out he had like 40 polyps removed, and he was like in those stages.
Wow.
So, it's nothing to play with. And I think the message that I'm sure that Dr. Janet will speak on this, early detection is so key. You have
It
to
is.
listen to your body. When you know your body's not right, you go to the doctor and figure out what the problem is and be your best advocate. Period.
Yes, I love you. All right. Well, Kay
Yes.
Renee, Bishop Simone, without further ado, I'd like to welcome back to the show our resident medical expert here. You know, this is such a bougie show. I got a resident medical expert. Look, one day this lady, all right, she'll send me a bill in the mail. Right. I'm going to get to my insurance. Ladies and gentlemen, the CEO of Community Health Net Health Centers located in Northwest Indiana. You've seen her on television, on radio. She's here on the show with us all the time. We just love and adore her. Family medicine practitioner, the one and only Dr. Janet Seabrook. Hey, Doc, how are you?
Hi, Dr. Janet.
Oh,
Hey.
Unmute her mic.
You're on mute.
Wait, you on mute? Oh, you got to unmute
Can't hear you.
Unmute your mic, Doc. Okay. Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Yay.
I got you excited when you put me on screen with everybody. I forgot to take myself off mute. But thank you so much.
That's all right, Doc. We love you.
Thank you so much for the invitation tonight to discuss a very serious medical condition that we, just recently lost Chadwick Boseman to, and it's really something that people really need to understand. And you and I have had this conversation before on your show several months ago about different types of cancer, and colon cancer was one of the cancers that we really focused on. So I'm just here to inform. And before we get started, I just want to let everyone know that I am a family medicine physician. I work in Northwest Indiana. I have not been consulted by Chadwick Boseman, his family, or any members regarding his colon cancer, nor have I treated him. But I am here to give people information and education about colon cancer and colon cancer screenings.
Very good. Well, doctor, we want to start off with how would one know if they need to be checked for colon cancer? Let's start there to begin with.
Okay, so colon cancer is something that we begin screening at age 50. That's something that we want to do and start at age 50. However, there are some people that need to have earlier screening because they have a family history of colon cancer in family members that are a younger age. So if you are someone that has that family history or family history of familial polyposis, meaning that you've had family members or you yourself have had a history of polyps, then your screenings may start before the age of 50. But typically those screenings start at 50. And what does that consist of? It can consist of those home kits that you see advertised on TV now. Your doctor can do the screening in the office, but we've gotten to the point now where we're so tech savvy that those boxes can be mailed to your home. You can do the test in the privacy of your home, collect the sample, place it back in the box, in the envelope that it comes with, and all of the biohazardous, bags to wrap it up in to get it back to the lab. And then those results are sent not only to you, but to the physician that you have designated as a physician that you want to receive those results. If those results come in and that screen is positive, the next step would be to send you to a gastroenterologist or a colonoscopy. And that's a test where a camera is inserted into the rectum and it looks at the large intestine. And it will detect if there are any polyps that need to be removed or if there are spots that need to be biopsied. At that time, samples are taken if an out-and-out large tumor is not seen at that time. Polyps are snared and removed. If there are spots and no polyps, they are biopsied. They're pinched off and they're pulled out. They're taken to the lab to be examined to see what type of cells they are. If those polyps are cancerous, then you will potentially have surgery to remove those polyps, or if those polyps have integrated themselves where they're so large that you need to remove the entire mass. Sometimes just removing the polyps is enough treatment. Typically, those are stage 1, and you can remove the polyps and then just be monitored on a frequent basis with frequent colonoscopy. If that cancer has spread to stage 2 or stage 3, and removal of the tumor is not enough to take care of it, we do a procedure. It's called debulking, meaning that you may have radiation first to help shrink the tumor to a size where the surgeon can remove it, and then have chemotherapy as well to help shrink before your surgery. And it's called debulking, a debulking surgery if it is a large cancer in the colon. And then that helps to shrink the tumor so it can be more manageable for the doctor to go in and remove. At times, you may have to have a colostomy if the ends of the large intestine are too raw to put back together. You may have to have a colostomy bag at your side in the place of where you would have a bowel movement. The colostomy bag would then be utilized and removed each time that you have a bowel movement or a pull. Typically, if you heal very well, we can reverse the colostomy, sometimes in 6 to 8 months, and put the tissue back together, put your intestines back together, and you heal up very nice, and we continue to monitor you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but there are so many, there are 4 different stages of colon cancer. Stage 1, 2, 3, and then stage 4, which Mr. Boseman had before he passed. He transitioned in, I guess, 4 years' time, it appears, from stage 3 to stage 4. And so it appears that his cancer was diagnosed late. That's not anything that would be unusual because he was young. So no one would expect that someone at that time, he would have been in his late 30s, would have colon cancer. So that is very rare. So it's something that you have to keep in the back of your mind. But we really don't think about colon cancer unless in a younger person, unless they have a strong family history of colon cancer.
Because we are hearing more and more stories, doctors, of people that are younger. But okay, so they would have to have a strong family medical history of colon cancer, correct?
That is correct. And then there are times that there are genetic mutations that come down from family lines where we have no control. Just like a family that has a sickle cell, down the line sickle cell trait, and then you end up, marrying or either having a child with someone who has sickle cell trait, and then some of your children may have the trait, some may not, and some may have sickle cell disease. So you can have genetic mutations that come down through different family lines, and then you happen to be the child that ends up with that genetic mutation that causes colon cancer. So there genetically, that's the way to get it. But then there are things that we do ourselves that can place us at risk. Being diabetic causes people to be at a higher risk to be diagnosed with colon cancer. Smoking, heavy smoking, heavy alcohol drinking, radiation therapy for a previous cancer. Maybe you had a cancer in your stomach area, so you had to have radiation treatment to your abdomen. That puts you at risk for colon cancer. So there are other things that can happen that could put you at risk. A lot of people are on these high-fat diets. We like our fried food, and we don't get enough fiber in our diet. So a low-fiber, high-fat diet can also put you at risk. If you lead a sedentary lifestyle, meaning that you're not getting up and moving around and being active, that can also put you at risk. Obesity puts you at risk for colon cancer. Because think about it. Those are the people with the low fiber, high fat diets that are leading sedentary lives, and most of the time they are diabetic with type 2 diabetes. So it's a combination of things, and woe be it to the morbidly obese, diabetic, low sedentary, low fiber, high fat diet person who smokes and then also drinks. That's like, okay, I'm just sitting here waiting for it to happen to me. And typically, the larger people are, no matter what their diagnosis is, it's often very difficult to make any diagnosis on them. It's hard to do pelvic exams and rectal exams on them because of their size. Sometimes doctors' offices don't have the bariatric exam tables that will assist and help the patient get on the exam table to even have the exam in the first place. And so many things, especially when you have somebody that is large, it's difficult to even do those preventive screenings on them because of their size. So these are some of the things that put people at risk for having colon cancer.
Doctor, we do have a question from one of our viewers tonight. Ernestine would like to know, can the doctor answer as why African American men have the highest percentage diagnosed with colon cancer? Black men seem to be, and that's what we're hearing on all the national news shows. What can you tell us about that?
So let me, and I should have done this earlier. Some of the risk factors: older age for colon cancer, we're talking about, and African American race in general. Having a personal history of colon cancer or polyps, or having some type of inflammatory disease of the intestines. Those things put you at risk. And I talked about the genetic mutations. However, let's back up. African Americans in general are at higher risk. Our race, our skin color, puts us at higher risk for colon cancer. Now, when we say, why is it so high in African American men? Be very observant the next time you go to any doctor's office. Count the number of men that you see versus the number of women. It is very difficult to get African American men to come in to have preventive screenings. And typically by the time they come in, the disease has already progressed past the point of having a screening and doing something very simple that could have taken care of it. So colon cancer and prostate cancer, African American men are at higher risk. And the bottom line is because they really don't come in to get preventive screenings. Typically, they're being brought in by a family member because they've been complaining to them so long about symptoms like abdominal pain, noticing dark stools, seeing blood, bright red blood in their stools. So these are the things that drive the conversation that they might have with a confidant or a friend before they even make themselves or make their way to the doctor's office. So it is because of our skin color, and then it is so high in men is because they don't, African American men, is because they don't go in to have the screenings that they should.
All right, Bishop or K. Renee, do you have a question for the doctor about this?
Well, I had a question, Dr. Janet. I did have my colonoscopy when I turned 50, and it came out fine. And my doctor said I would not need to have it for 10 years. Given what has happened with Chadwick, will that still advice apply, or should I, wait to get it at my 5th year when I turn 55? Just out of curiosity.
So what you could do, so your doctor probably took a strong look at your family history, your medical history, and those things that you share with your doctor, with your provider about you and your family, and determine whether you were low, medium, or moderate risk or high risk for colon cancer. So looking at all of that, then having that clean colonoscopy screening, he would then determine, because we do calculations looking at your age, your race, your weight, your health habits, and things like that, to determine when you should have that next screening. Now, that does not preclude you asking for that box kit. if you feel like you need to have that screening at 55 and not the colonoscopy, if he or she is recommended 10 years from now, then maybe at that halfway point, you would ask, would it be reasonable to have the box screening? You can do that in the privacy of your own home, have it sent to the lab, and then you get whether it's negative or positive. Then that would give you and your physician an idea if you did need to have an earlier colonoscopy.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Bishop, do you have a question for the doctor?
Yes, I do. Just so that we're all clear, what are the preventatives? What can we do right now to make sure we don't put ourselves in harm's way?
So that's a good question. So we can do the opposite of all of those things that I said were high risk. So if you are obese, you need to lose weight. So what is the BMI for your height? You should know that. If you are supposed to, weigh a certain amount and have this BMI, you should look at that scale and see where you should be. You know how tall you are, you know how much you weigh now. That will tell you if your BMI is elevated, which means if it is, then you are obese and it needs to be less than 25. So we need to lose weight. We need to get up and exercise. We need to have a high fiber diet, which will help regulate our bowels and reduce the fat in our diet. Also, if we're smokers, we need to stop smoking. And if we drink a lot of alcohol, we need to reduce our alcohol intake. And so then knowing that if we have had any type of radiation procedure in the past, some women or men have had to have radiation to their neck because of thyroid issues. If you've had radiation to your chest for other cancer treatments or to your abdomen, your doctor needs to be aware of that. So then those things could be looked at as you're moving forward to screenings. So those are some of the things that you can do. It's totally the opposite of what the risk factors are. If you're overweight, lose weight. If you're sedentary, get up and exercise. If you smoke, stop smoking. If you drink, lower the amount of alcohol in your diet. So those are the things that you can do to reduce our risk.
Can you address that body mass index? Because there's some racial, ethnic, cultural differences between Black folk BMI and Tom and Jerry's BMI.
I know.
Doctor, I am big boned.
Obese. It makes
no. I am big boned.
Does.
I am not obese. I'm big boned. Ain't that how we say that?
It is skewed a little bit, but when I think about it, it's really a way to make people get into a range that's healthier. So I look at more of a range than an absolute weight, sure. 130 on the dot or, 155 on the dot. Looking at a range for your height is more realistic, especially for African Americans.
Okay.
We're not Barbie dolls. We're just not shaped up like that. We're not made like that.
That's right. That's right.
Big boned. That's right. We fit.
I want to say other things. I'm gonna.
That's all right. I'll say them. I will say them. We are big boned. We are hefty. Look. I remember wearing huskies when I was a kid, so I thought that's the way people was raised. Husky, right? I was like, fat. Who came up with that? No, you're a husky. Yeah. Doctor, you're a huge component of us eating right. I know you grow a beautiful garden. You do wonderful cooking segments, things like that. What would you suggest for us? Here we are at harvest season. The pickings are really ripe. And would any of that help us with our colon situation as well, too?
Oh, by all means, fruits, increasing your fruit and vegetable intake. And right now, there are a plethora of things that are coming out of my garden. And I'm sure a lot of people's gardens across Northwest Indiana and Illinois. And so any of those things, blueberries, strawberries, because you have the antioxidants. I love tomatoes. I mean, I can just eat a tomato like I'm eating an apple. So, and then speaking of apples, getting our fiber. Apples are a good way to get fiber. But there are so many things that are just right there, right now. And Chad, you know I love my salads. My
Yeah.
kale salad, you know I love my kale salad. And I put my strawberries on there, my red onions, and then I like to post it before I eat it to make everybody drool.
Yeah.
But I made a nice one. Well, at least I thought it was nice last week. I got my first little cucumber out of my garden, and my kale. I have a lot of kale. I chopped that up, put my cucumber, had a couple of strawberries that popped up, and I said, "You're getting eaten tonight." So things like that will really help to help us regulate our bowels and get that fiber in our system that we need.
Yes. Well, doctor, before we let you go, we always have to acknowledge COVID-19. You were here with us in the very beginning to help us navigate our way through this. Even though you're in Northwest Indiana, you have your pulse on both Illinois and Chicago's numbers because we're almost like we are neighbors. Some reminders to help keep us healthy, as well as we're going into the flu season too.
So what we're asking people to do, because it's going to be I'm going to be honest with everyone, it's going to be very difficult, not only on the general population and patients, it's going to be difficult for physicians and healthcare providers because we have two infectious diseases, COVID-19 and influenza, that have very similar symptoms. So what we're asking and we're imploring everyone that can to get a flu shot. Okay, that is going to help us a lot. If you can, if you have no restrictions or anything that prevents you from getting a flu shot, please get your flu shot. We're hoping we can continue the hand hygiene, the washing our hands with soap and water, using the antiseptic, hand wash, hand sanitizers, wiping things down, spraying things down, and continue with our mask wearing, even though it's irritating, and social distancing. I see you, Bishop. And our social distancing, we may have an effect to even reduce the number of flu cases that we have. So that excites me. That's if we can keep it up. We may actually reduce the number of incidents of flu that we have typically during flu season. So then that may tease out a little bit more for healthcare providers that were functioning and dealing more with COVID. We are influenza. That's my hope for this flu season.
All right. Well, with that being said, yes, thank you. This was a gift to me. This was a gift. It was. Yes,
Bishop. I don't have fun. You guys.
Hey, Dr. Seabrook, I have one last question. May I ask, Chad?
Yeah,
may
go
I
ahead.
ask?
Go right ahead.
Can you tell us, is there any validity? Can you tell us, is there any validity with the change of season? At first, we were hearing earlier that the virus had a harder time to survive in hot weather. Now we're getting into cooler seasons. Is there any virus being able to survive in cooler seasons versus the warmer weather?
So here's the issue, and I really wish that statement had not come out. It did not come from healthcare providers, so let's make sure that we're clear with that. Because for us, meaning healthcare providers, doctors, researchers, scientists, this was a novel, meaning new coronavirus. So we had absolutely no clue what it was going to do. And to say that it was going to go away or dissipate in warmer weather, to say that means that you were only thinking about the United States. The southern half of South America had COVID-19. It's always warm there. It's not like they get snow. Maybe they do high in the mountain area, but typically when you're looking at Colombia, Paraguay, Uruguay, all of those places, they're topical areas that are warm most of the time. So to say that, and Venezuela was being ravaged by COVID-19. while we were in March into April, and people were making statements that, oh, when it gets warm here, it's going to dissipate. That was not based in science at all. So, and because it is a new virus, there was no way that you would find any scientist, researcher, or healthcare provider that was going to say, oh, yes, that's going to happen, because we knew that that wasn't necessarily true.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, with that being said, we'd like to thank you so much, Dr. Janet Seabrook. You are always the absolute best. You have a walkathon coming up, and we want to support you in your walkathon. Please tell us about the breast cancer walkathon.
So the breast cancer walk will be held virtually and in person. For those who feel comfortable coming out, we'll be prepared. We have some goodies. Bring your mask, but we're also going to have some masks there too. We want people to social distance and come out and still walk around Marquette Park. So Saturday, September 26th, the last Saturday in September, at 9 a.m. is registration, and 10 a.m. the walk is going to begin face-to-face and virtually. So we're real excited about that. It's not a long walk. It's 5K walk. That's 3.2 miles. You can do that in your sleep. You know, we can do this. And so I'm hoping that people will participate. Like I said, if you aren't able to come out in person, that you would register online at chn-indiana.org, or either call 219-880-1190 and ask for Amanda Williams, and she'll be able to give you information or direct you to the website to get the forms to register for the walk. $25 in person and $25 virtually. We're asking people to form teams and to walk and just raise money to help women and men to be able to get breast cancer mammograms.
Wow, very good. We love you so much. The information is up there on the screen, you guys. 5K walk. We definitely want you guys to be a part of this. Dr. Janet Seabrook, she does so much. We just love and adore her. As I always say, the pride and joy of Northwest Indiana. We love you, Doc.
Thank you so much.
Love you.
And Doctor, is it correct? You are an AKA doctor? Oh boy, Kamala Harris time. We know what that's about.
That's right.
We know what that's about. We love you, Doctor. Thank you so much. You always give us the best advice, and God bless you and your family, and we'll see you the next time, okay?
Thank you
Bye,
so
Dr.
much.
Janet.
Bye-bye.
Dr. Janet.
Bye, Dr. Janet Seabrook, you guys. We just love and adore her. There's all the information for her 5K walk. Team Community Health Net Health Centers, Northwest Indiana. We just love and adore her. There it is, all right there. Be a part of it and be there. Good night, Doctor. We love you. Have a good
Bye,
night.
Dr. Janet.
Yay, Dr. Janet Seabrook. All right. So for those of you all that are just tuning in, welcome to the Monday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. I am your host, Chat Daddy. It's a beautiful Monday. It's the last Monday of August 2020. Can you guys believe that? I mean, this year has gone by so quickly. The holiday weekend is approaching us this coming weekend. For some reason, my lighting is going in and out in here, so we're going to have that checked. But I have another great show planned for your viewing and listening pleasure tomorrow evening. Tomorrow night, we'll welcome a young blues singer to the show. Brother Jacob Schultz will be here with us tomorrow night. A young man from the south side of Chicago who is a dynamic blues singer. When I tell you guys, you're going to be just blown away by his personality, all of that. He also is an employment counselor. So tomorrow night, we'll be talking about looking for a job during COVID. A lot of people are unemployed right now and are looking for work. And unfortunately, these jobs are not calling the way you think they should. So Brother Jacob will be here tomorrow night to give tips on how to find employment during COVID. And we're going to talk about a few other things. All right. So make sure you're here for the Tuesday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, every night, Monday through Thursday, 7 o'clock, Facebook Live or YouTube. Do me a favor, go over to YouTube and like the Real Chat Daddy Show. Subscribe. It's really easy. It's really simple. Not a lot for you to do, but please subscribe to the Real Chat Daddy Show on YouTube and on Facebook, the Real Chat Daddy Show as well too. All right. My co-hosts this evening are two people that I love and adore. Kay Renee, known as Karen's Nuggets, and Bishop Damone Seraphin. Both are great co-hosts. I love them. Hello, gang. Yay.
Hello.
Let's do it like that. Do it like that, baby. Do it like that. So we are. Have you guys had a good time so far this evening?
Always.
Oh yeah.
Always.
Oh yeah.
Good, good. Well,
I wanted to,
yes, go ahead, Bishop.
you know what? I just want, because this thing about men's health care, and maybe this is a whole other show altogether, but there is such a stigma, especially among Black men, about getting these tests for colon cancer and for prostate cancer.
Yes.
You have to understand that your yielding to be tested does not speak to your sexuality. It is not an issue of sexuality, but of life and health. So then sticking up your rear to make sure that your prostate and your colon are healthy does not make you any less of a hetero male, however you want to call it. We got so many names for it. Here's the bottom line: get checked, because it is a matter of life and death.
Right. It's serious. It is serious.
And Bishop, it's funny you mention that, because my father's brother, after Mike, because I think you know this, Art, because we were talking about what September will bring about blood cancer, because my dad transitioned from myelofibrosis, but his younger brother had prostate cancer, and he never wanted to get it done until it was too late. And that's the tragedy, that he would not go to the doctor because he didn't feel, as you just indicated, man enough to go see what the heck was going on with him. So there has to be some type of communication and just letting everyone know that you've got to take care of yourself. You only get one temple that God has given you. It's up to you to make sure that temple is running efficiently.
Yes.
Period.
I cannot agree with you more. I could not. I really could not. I think you're absolutely right about that. All right. Well, our last segment this evening is a question that I'm going to pose to both of you, my friends, and hopefully people who are watching will give us some feedback. As you guys all know, our good friend, actor Chadwick Boseman, didn't reveal any details about his colon cancer journey with the public. He is not alone. Quite a few people would like to keep their cancer journeys, terminally ill situations, quiet, a secret, and not inform people. Steve Jobs did not let people know of his journey and what he was going through. And so my question to both of you, and I'm going to start with you first, Kay Renee, and then I'm going to come to you, Bishop, to share or not to share your serious health conditions, your thoughts on it. And then I'm going to have you all turn the tables on me after you've given your feedback. And I want you guys to ask me the same question. Go right ahead.
Answer that question. One, I truly applaud Chadwick for not disclosing, because there's something to be said. I know he was a public figure, an iconic figure, but there are times when you may not want to share something of that nature. Now, granted, if he were our current president or our local officials, I think that's a different scenario, because they're governing people, and I think we need to know the health conditions of our leaders. But for me personally, I have a very quiet and secret tribe, and those are the individuals. If something happens to me, my tribe will know, and that's all who will know. Because unfortunately, we're living in times, it was definitely indicated with Chadwick when they first, the last time he had made a public appearance on social media, people started denigrating his appearance. In fact, I was reading one of his co-stars from The Bloods, his last movie with Spike Lee, because Spike didn't even know. He talked about it with a British tabloid that he thought, everyone was fawning over Chadwick. He said, well, who is this person to be fawning over? Not knowing that he had this disease. And of course, now that it's been told, he feels terrible. And I think there should be no judgment. If someone does not want to disclose their condition, it's their right. And you have to respect that. So for me personally, I have people in my life that I know if I say I don't want this to be told, they will keep it and take it to the grave. So, I mean, that's just my personal opinion. I applaud Chadwick for what he did. And I didn't say this earlier, but definitely let's send prayers out to his queen, Taylor Simone, because that woman was by his side when he made his transition, not only with his family, but her. So please, as a sister, she did right by her king. So please, let's give Miss Taylor Simone your love and your prayers going forward.
Yes, I couldn't agree more. Bishop, your take on this?
Those who need to know will know, and those who don't will find out. Everybody else does.
It's you
really
okay?
Difficult. Oh, did you lose me?
We had some kind of crazy feedback, but go ahead. You said those that need to know. Say it again.
Those who need to know will know, and those who don't need to know will find out when they find out.
Yes.
It is difficult enough as public people, as performers whose careers and livelihoods rests on our abilities to be able to do the job. And when people hear certain buzzwords, they make determinations for us. Chadwick did how many movies while he suffered?
At least
no
4.
one knew.
Exactly.
Yes. And so imagine if he had told folk the number of things that would have been kept from him, projects that he wouldn't have been able to do. 1, because of insurance. 2, because of stigma. There's too much at stake. And then I also believe, and we already saw it when people made assumptions about his health based on pictures. I need people who are going to send positive energy and prayer in the midst of my struggle. And if I can't trust that you're going to do that, then I don't need to release my private struggle in a public space.
Yes.
I don't owe it to you. I don't owe it to you. And so, and it honors his family. It honors his family. Everybody has to deal with the reality of what their loved one is dealing with, and they don't need everybody else's isms and schisms and ignorance compiled on what they have to walk through. So no, I'm private to a hilt. It just ain't your business until you find out. And if you need to know, if I want you to know, then you will know. Now, he's not putting anybody else's life in danger. His health issue is not a detriment to your health. So there's no reason for you to know.
Right.
There's no reason for you to know.
Right.
And I will concur and echo and say, listen, Chadwick married his wife when he knew the time was coming. He married her, and she stood by him. She stood by him. And I agree with you, and I will echo again. That kind of love, you don't just find hanging around.
Amen.
No, you do not. You do not. It's a beautiful thing. It really it's something that we all hope for, want, and, all of that. Yes, absolutely. Very good. All right. So the table.
Chat Daddy.
Yes.
The tables are turned, man. What to tell or not to tell?
Right.
Unfortunately, I hate the fact that I did go public. At the time when I was diagnosed with my cancer, I was a part of a morning television show, and I had disappeared for a little bit. When I came back, it was kind of a persuasion thing of let the public know. But the reason now that I regret letting the public know is that at the time of that television show, when it started, it was also when the economy had a downturn. I took a downturn with the economy, lost quite a bit. And who knew that the medicine to keep me alive would be $10,000 a month medicine?
Wow.
And at the time, you know, my insurance, the co-pays were $900 just for the medicine. And so it just, no family support, no people actually run when you say something is wrong. You don't get the help in things that you need. And so it just became a train wreck. And then, you know, people have a hard time thinking that you look like $1 million, but you couldn't have cancer. But what people don't realize, and what we'll learn over the month of September, is that people with blood cancer look normal. I know of somebody whose family members suffered with a blood cancer and went to bed one night and woke up the next day and had aged by 30 years because the cancer had come back on them in their sleep overnight. And they didn't know. They had a few symptoms, not really knowing. So I don't know. In this day and age, you know, everybody's very forward about what's going on with them. If I had my choice in druthers again, I probably would not have gone down the route of publicly saying anything about my leukemia.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so, Bishop, what do you think about that? Huh? Bishop, what do you think?
I think it's too much at stake. I wish you hadn't told people.
Yeah.
I wish you hadn't. I wish you hadn't yielded to the press to tell people, because look at what you stood to lose.
Right.
Look at how.
Right.
And so now you got all of that on top of your struggle. So you're outing yourself really only compounds the issue. Now I've added more stress on top of my struggle. Yeah, I wish I were in your circle at that, or I was, but I just was here in New York. I would have told you to taint nobody's business but your own.
But yours. Yep. I echo that sentiment. I really do, because that's your business. That's your private business. Unfortunately, people are not. They're just not as genuine as they would like to be. And some, as we know, are, especially you being in this business, they want to tear you down. And that's not what you need, especially during that time. You, as Bishop stated, you need people around you who are going to continuously lift you up. And then if that means keep your private information private, that's what it means.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. So I just think it's an unfortunate. Wait, you said what, Bishop?
There are people who prey on people in those spaces.
Yes.
You know, they want to put you in the grave before you're there.
Exactly.
They want to take the job before you're no longer healthy enough to take the job.
That's right.
So it's like, hell no to the no.
That's right.
How does that work, Bishop?
Say it again, Bishop.
No to the no, you don't get to know.
That's right.
But I mean, you know, nowadays people are very quick, you know, and here's another thing. One thing that I want to do is start an organization that will support Black men who have been diagnosed with cancer, especially blood cancers, because when I was diagnosed, I wanted a mentor. I wanted somebody that I could talk to, exchange ideas, just, you know, what you go through. And unfortunately, the organization that I went through could only match me with a white guy that was in Vermont.
Oh, wow.
And our lives were just as different as the day was long. It wasn't until my radio show that I actually started meeting black guys who, there's a young black guy I know who has the same rare type of leukemia, all of that. But no, the support was not there as far as being able to talk to somebody else to relate. And here's the funniest thing. Everybody and their mama think they know about cancer, but if you don't have a rare form of whatever it is,
that's right.
It ain't nothing really you can say, boo. Ain't nothing you can say. Right.
That's right. That's exactly right. As I mentioned to you with my dad.
Wait, Kay, go ahead.
As I was mentioning to you about my father, he had myelofibrosis. He had it for 20 years. I didn't know anything about it. I had to do my research on it. And then, of course, when you tell family, they're like, oh, what? That's that type of cancer. I said, you don't know nothing. And so since you don't know nothing, then you need to be quiet.
Right.
And I had found my health group or group through Facebook about the disease. And I'm going to tell you, not that many African Americans have that type of cancer that my father had. In fact, when they saw me, they're like, you sure your father had? I said, I know what he had. I mean, I saw the medical report. So you're right, Art. And when you do start it, I will be more than happy to help you in that. So, because I know that is very hard when you have to deal with that type of cancer and then not have the support group to have people. That's the reason why Black Panther with Chadwick was so well known, because kids got a chance to see a hero that looked like them, similarly to what you're going through. You want someone, to go through what you, and they look just like you. So it's just, people just don't understand the complexities of various cancers that people go through. And if you don't have that experience, then you just need to just snip it and be quiet.
You wanted to add something to this?
Obviously cancer was not my struggle, but I will tell you, Trinity United Church of Christ on 95th Street, 350 West 95th Street, they have a strong cancer support ministry.
They do.
It's called Can Survive.
Yes.
Can Survive. And I know that ministry is deep. Because what you do need are folks who can be on the wall, who can stand on the wall, and who have no problem storming heaven's gate in the midnight hour for you while you're walking that journey. I don't know what it's like, Art. So I can't even begin to give you the advice. But I will say, I know a man from Galilee.
That's right. All right. Well, with that being said, I'm wondering, would people actually want to tell their diagnosis? It's a personal choice. It really is. Well, you guys, we've done the doggone thing. What else we need to talk about tonight before we get to the end of this show?
We got 63 days left to the election.
How many, Kay Renee?
63 days left. Continue to start that good and necessary trouble. Do your research on who you want to vote for, but it's imperative that you vote because our life depends upon it. It really vote like your life depends upon it, because it does. So 63 days. We're coming into that.
Don't say like.
What? It does.
No, I said don't say like. It does depend on it.
Oh, it does depend on it. We're coming into debate season, so it's gonna be real interesting, especially that VP debate. I'm looking forward to that. I have my popcorn and my water ready for that in October.
Yes. Well, what did you all think about last night of the Republican National Convention? The fact that the president had 1,500 people there, very few masks were being worn, people were elbow to elbow, and I am convinced that you have to be rich and white for COVID not to be an issue, because otherwise it was like a petri dish in the making.
Here's the interesting part. We're going to talk about that. It's so funny how Idiot in Chief can talk about and tweet everything else. Now, we know these past several days we've been honoring our king. What have we heard from him? Crickets. Nothing. Not a dot. But you talk about anything else, and to answer your question, I just feel that people are just not listening. They just want to be on stage. They're like, "Oh, we're here at the RNC with 45, and no COVID's gonna come near us." Oh no, because we believe him that this is all a hoax. Okay, you do that. As we say, all right, do you, boo? Go ahead, do you. But I'm gonna do me. Wear my mask. Wear the mask. Have my sanitizer. Wear that mask.
Wear the mask.
Wear your mask.
Wear the mask, baby. Wear the mask.
Wear your mask.
Use
hand sanitizer.
Yes.
Wash your hands.
Hand sanitizer.
Practice social distancing.
Get that hand.
That's what I'm going to do. Because at the end of the day, and Bishop can echo this, God gives you free will. He gives you choices. So if you choose to be with 45 and want to elbow with people and say, hey, Corona's not going to get me. Oh, that's your choice. But when stuff happens, then you can't blame anyone but looking in the mirror.
Right. Absolutely.
So to answer your question, I know Vice President Biden he's starting to come out now, but he's being very cautious. He's listening to the experts. If he has an in-person rally, he's going to make sure they practice social distancing. So, everyone has a choice. I talk about every day of my nuggets. When I end it, I say, you know what to do. When you can shelter in place, you go out, wear that face mask, and wash those hands. Period.
That's right.
At the end of the day, it's either two things. You're going to mask it or casket. Now, that's as hard and harsh as you want to get. Mask it or casket.
Mask it or casket. So, Bishop, what else you want to add to that?
Nobody's fault but mine. Nobody's fault but mine. If I die and my soul be lost, nobody's fault but mine. I say that because, listen, if you make the choices that keep your tail bound, then that's on you.
That's right.
Not voting is a choice to keep your tail bound, and that's on you. You go out here in all these large crowds without the mask on, and you want to, then go ahead. But when you come up dead, ain't nobody's fault but your own.
That's right.
We can't do nothing. We can't do nothing.
One of your readers just wrote, where's Herman Cain and COVID 45's brother? Where are they?
Dead.
Right, because I'm starting to look at the Herman Cain thing sideways, almost like did they poison the man? I mean, I don't know. That's amazing how the black man at the event died.
No, that black man
made his choice. He made his choice.
He drank the wrong Kool-Aid.
That's what happened. Say it again, Bishop.
He drank the wrong Kool-Aid.
That's exactly right.
It was watery and had no substance and couldn't protect him.
That's right.
So when you drink the wrong Kool-Aid, you come up dead.
I
know. I feel for his family because I'm sure his wife probably was ready to cuss him out if she could kill him again. She would say, "What is wrong with you?"
Right. When you get on public TV and say, I'm not wearing no mask. I'm not fearing COVID. Hey, COVID can't get me. And what gets you? COVID. And we can't have a funeral for you because guess what? We can't come because of COVID.
That's right.
You left out of here just like you was born by yourself.
By yourself.
Right. Yes.
That's right. So we're going into a new season in fall, and COVID is not playing. Nope. We are now over 180,000 nationwide. who have left here, over 6 million cases. Now that's not proof that this is real. I don't know what is.
Yeah.
But I do know this. I serve a God that I'm going to be obedient and make sure that I'm going to be here.
Listen.
Especially before November 3rd. I'm going to continue to start good and necessary trouble.
I was saying, K. Renee, don't you go nowhere before you cast your vote now.
Going
whatever you
nowhere.
do, you can't kick off before you cast your vote.
I got past the bake for the holiday, for the Zoom Thanksgiving holiday. I can't be going nowhere.
Right. She doing her commercial now. She doing her commercial, right?
That's right.
Yeah. Amen.
Anybody want pies? They go to all potato sweet. That's it.
Yes. Amen. All right. Well, in closing, K. Renee, darling, tell everybody how they can find you, follow you, all that good stuff. Bishop, I'll let you go next. Go right ahead, darling, K. Renee.
As always, you can catch me on Facebook at KarensNuggetsOfKnowledge.com. I have a website, Karen's Nuggets of Knowledge. My pie company, All Potato Sweet. You can find me on Facebook, on Instagram, Karen's_Nuggets. Facebook, K. Renee Mason. And, I just want to say always to Art, thank you so much for giving me this platform to speak. And I want to end with a nugget, as I always do. Say, remember, you were born an original. Don't die a copy. And that was by John Mason, no relation. So thanks again, Art.
Oh, I love you, darling. I really do. Bishop, go right ahead. Here's your moment to shine.
Oh man, listen, this is so great to be here. You all can find me, Damone Seraphin, on Facebook and on Instagram, Damone Seraphin. God bless you and keep you, make his face to shine upon you and grant you his peace. The Lord lift up the light of his countenance upon you and grant you his peace that the world can't give and neither can it take away.
Amen.
That's my
Amen. What a Monday. I feel almost as if we gave Chadwick a funeral tonight on here. I really do. Yes, I feel as if we gave him a homegoing service. I do.
We did.
Yes. Amen. Well, on behalf of Bishop Damone Seraphin and K. Renee of Karen's Nuggets, I just want to thank you guys so very much for tuning in tonight. Don't forget, I'll be back tomorrow night at 7 p.m. for your Tuesday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. Do me a favor, please go over to YouTube. YouTube is the place for you to go and subscribe to the Real Chat Daddy Show right there on YouTube. Also on Facebook, the Real Chat Daddy Show. And whatever you do, stop by therealchatdaddy.com. That's all you have to do is go over there, check out therealchatdaddy.com. It'll give you what you need to know about who I am, where I am, and when I am, because it's a lot of I ams when it comes to me. All right. Well, we just want to say thank you guys so very much. We hope that you've enjoyed this dedication to actor Chadwick Boseman. Thank you to Dr. Janet Seabrook, noted family medicine practitioner based out of Northwest Indiana. She did an excellent job tonight, as she always does. All right, guests, let's wave. And then, I have to do our special how we go off the air now. I'm going to pop one of you out. Yay. I'm going to pop another one of you. Don't leave yet, you guys. Stay there. And